Hello. Today what I'm going to do is show you some algorithms and also some shortcuts for doing 2x2 calculations that are really going to help you to get your mind stayed on being efficient in mathematical calculations, not just being robotic. Okay? Anyone can break things down, but what I want you to strive to do is use your imagination, use your creativity, and start to learn how to look at numbers as your friends and not as your enemies. Okay, so let's use this example here. I'm going to have these for you. I'm going to look at on the board, but as you notice, my autofocus keeps going back and forth. So I'm going to just put this on the board here, and then use this as a way of keeping myself focused on what I'm trying to do. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is going to be 26 times 45. Now, if you look at this number here, you're going to find there is a couple little secrets that you can use. Okay, the first thing is if you look at the 26, you can actually cut it in half. Why? Because the 45 gives you a way of making that number into 90 or even 9, which is much easier to calculate than 45. So you take the 26, which is an even number, break it down to 13, and take the 45 and double it to 90. So you're only going to right now be dealing with 9 times 13. Okay, to break that down, of course, you would go 1 times 9 is 9, 3 times 9 is 27. So you add the 2 to the 9. That's 1, 1, and 7, and 0, and that's your answer. Okay, that's very easily seen and easily calculated. Next one will be 38 times 15. Again, you can use the example that 15 is 10 and 5. So you can say 38 times 10 is 380, and 38 times 5 is 190. Okay, add those numbers together, and what you have is 570. Okay, and that's your answer. Next one would be 23 times 58. Now, if you have anything that you multiply by 5 and it's an even number, you can simply cut that number in half and disregard the 0. So 2 times 5 is 10, so put down the 1 and disregard the 0 because you'll be covering that 0 with the next set of numbers. What you do, look at the middle part and you'll see that you have 5 times 3 is 15, and the outside is 2 times 8 is 16. Okay, so 15 and 16 is 31. So lay a 31 down next to the 1, so it's 131. And your last part is the right side is 3 times 8, which is 24. Okay, so you add the 2 to the 1, and so your final answer is going to be 1334. Okay, the next one we're looking at is going to be, this one is a trick what people use when it comes to doing numbers in the 90s. Okay, what they do is, this one here is 95 times 96. What you do is look at the difference between the first number with 95 and 100, which is 5. So you take that 5 and subtract it from the number on the right, which is 96. So 96 minus 5 is 91, and the difference between 96 and 100 was 4. So you simply add those two, or multiply those two numbers together. So it's going to be 5 times 4 is 20, and that's going to be the last part of your answer. So it's going to be 9120. Okay, and the next one is pretty clever because it's going to be 34 times 66. Now this is a situation where you're going to have a pair of numbers, but the one pair is going to be a twin, a double number. So what you simply do is, if you look at that number, if you look at the 34 and 66, you're going to see two things. You're going to see 3 times 6 and 4 times 6. That's going to be your calculation you're dealing with. That's why I call my hidden number the middle number. But in essence, what you're doing is you're actually taking the two numbers, the 3 and the 4, and it's going to be a 7. And 7 times 6 is 42. Much easier to derive because you can see that. It's just 42. So taking the outside number, the 3 times 6, and it's 18, and you add the 4. So it's going to be 22 with 2 left over. Okay? And the last part is going to be the right side. It's going to be 4 times 6 is 24. So your answer is going to be 2244. Simple, okay? And the last example I have here is another example of a number that's multiplied by 5, and it's going to be an even number, so you're going to cut it in half. It's going to be 53 times 67. Now again, when you see a 6 or a 2 or a 4, any even number, you simply say half that number, disregard the 0, and that's going to be the first part of your answer. Okay? So what you have here is a 6, so you say 3, and you just wait for your remaining numbers to come up. By taking the inside and outside pairs, you've got 18, and you've got, which is of course 3 times 6 is 18, and 5 times 7 is 35. Okay, so you have to just know that math. Okay, so that's going to be 53. So what you do, you take the 53, lay it down next to the 3, so it's 3, 5, 3, and you know you've got the outside is going to be 3 times 7 is 21, so 3 and 2 is 5, and you've got a 1. So your answer is going to be 3, 5, 5, 1. Okay. Now your mission, basically, if you want to accept it, is to look at these type of numbers, these 2x2 calculations, and see if you can find shortcuts, if you can find little gifts, if you can find little magic combinations that just come up. Okay. Such as when you do something times 99. Same thing. We do 99, you know that you simply subtract 1 from the number you're dealing with and then do your complement. But again, that's from another tape. You can view that on my YouTube files. But this is something that you really need to look at, because one of my goals is to get people to really understand that 2x2 calculations should be as easily divided and calculated and done as when you do 1x1 calculation. Okay, it's not that hard to do. You can basically look at the number and just start to break things out. Okay, you start to, let's say again from the beginning, when I look at a 26 times 45, and even without any type of shortcut that I showed you, I could divide those numbers out by looking at the middle portion. Okay, that's the first thing I do. If you want to know what I do when I see calculation, like this example here, first thing I'm going to do is look at the middle number, the hidden number. In this case here, if you can see this, you can see 24 plus 10. That's 34, and that's going to be my hidden number. It's going to be the part I'm going to start using to attack a number. Okay, and then again, if I see there's a little gift there because there's an 8. Okay, so it's only a single number I'm dealing with. So I see the 8, and then I attach the next number to it, and I just move on to the final answer of 1170. Okay, so again, watch these videos, go back and make sure you do this. And as I always say, practice this. If you don't practice, you will not be able to do this. Okay, but this is one of the easiest skills that anyone could ever do. But the possibilities of doing it faster and better are only possible from practice. Okay, but one thing I'll leave you with, I guarantee you that if you give yourself just a week of consistent study with these techniques and practice all the time, after that time, it'll become natural. It'll become just an automatic reflex. When you see any numbers that are 2x2, you'll just be able to look at it and then immediately go to the hidden number and break that number down and get your answer. Okay? So thank you for watching, and you have a great day. Continue to learn and be proficient with math. Thank you.